I didn't think animation should be restricted to comedy or cartoons necessarily, so I wanted to do something that was quite serious and very very challenging emotionally. I think there's something that puppets can do because they're such an abstract thing, and they don't look like us. We anthropomorphize and we project ourselves into them. They're a stronger version of ourselves. They're caricatures, essentially. And so the look of the film, the puppets, deliberately not naturalistic, though the movement is. The production design comes from 19th century Chinese, early Japanese. There are some Arabic influences as well, and all these things come together. I'm influenced very heavily by people like Ang Lee and Wong Kar-wai. It's a universal thing. Everybody loses something in their lives, something that's important to them, and it's the reaction to that loss that makes the difference between surviving it and not. And that's one of the other strengths of animation, because it takes as long as it takes. It allows me as a filmmaker to understand better the principles and emotions involved and therefore express them more thoroughly. Each character has their own arc and their own development and their own little story within the narrative. And there are lots of little subtle points that the frame-by-frame process allows you to address and deal with individually on this very intimate scale. I think part of the reason for this film is to describe that sometimes what we lose enables us to gain something else. And without the loss, we wouldn't have that opportunity. Although it deals with some very dark issues, it's a very optimistic story. The look of it is very abstract, and it's not necessarily anywhere familiar, but it's somewhere that will be, I hope, will become a very warm and welcoming place. But it has to start off looking alien and unidentifiable, so you're not at first comfortable with where you are. The bird represents the freedom of thought and the changing and developing ideas that go on within the main character's psychological revolution.